Okay, I'm going to call this Fairmont City Council meeting for August 14th, 2018 to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Manella?
Here.
Councilmember Moran? Here. Councilor Yan?
Here.
Councilmember Harger?
Here.
Councilmember Merrifield?
Here.
Councilmember Warner?
Present.
Councilmember Grubb?
Here.
Councilmember Mason?
Here.
Councilmember Straight?
Here.
Okay, our opening ceremonies tonight will be, our prayer will be conducted by Reverend D.D. Mahan, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be conducted by Councilmember Warner. Would you all please stand?
Throughout West Virginia this week, various cities will open their meetings in numerous ways. Morgantown will have a roll call. Buchanan will have a moment of silence. Lewisburg will have a thought prepared by the city recorder. Clarksburg has a prayer by a different council member at each meeting. Fayetteville with a Pledge of Allegiance. Wheeling and Charleston with an invocation. As one who has organized our prayers and meditations for years, I appreciate the City Council's openness to various styles of expression, prayers, and meditations. So today I wish to offer a humanistic prayer. This will be the third in the history of the last 10 years. The chaplain 4 years ago read in February Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and 3 years ago I read the Mayflower Compact. We pause to reflect and to give thanks to those who serve in elected, appointed, and volunteered positions. For those who in our city answer calls in the middle of the night, who work in administration, maintenance, utilities. For those who offer Fairmont 101 classes and serve on one of the many Fairmont agencies. And for those who live into the best examples of what it means to be a citizen, so that we can give thanks, that we can be the arms, legs, and voices for those in Fairmont who are voiceless. May these thoughts be translated into prayer and action and practice by those who claim faith. And may these thoughts unite us all to make Fairmont a better place, to be a welcoming and inclusive community, to live, work, raise our family, recreate, attend church, and perform community service. Thank you.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Dee Dee. Thank you, Fran. Before we approve the minutes, I have been asked by the city clerk to remind you all to speak into the microphones. It's easier for her to pick up what went on when she goes to do the minutes. So from now on, please speak into the microphones. You all received the minutes on your tablets. I assume you've had time to go over those. Of course, they were revised. So if someone would make a motion to accept the minutes as
So moved.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have minutes. There are no public hearings this evening. Announcements, we'll start with you, Mary Ann.
None tonight, thank you.
A lot of nice things were going on in the past week. I attended a Prickett's Fort concert, the Soul Miners, and Judd's not here, but they almost had him dancing on the floor. This week they're going to have the Allegheny Rain, which will, I understand, it will be equally as entertaining. And for those that like to take walks, if you go out to Prickett's Fort and walk the trail toward Morgantown, across the bridge there, the Joe Pye weed is blooming, very large, and I never saw so many butterflies as last Saturday when I was there. They're all over. It's beautiful. Hopefully the rain hasn't killed them off, but if you have time and you take walks, that'd be a good place to go.
Thank you.
It's Joe Powellweed.
Joe Pyeweed.
Oh, Pye.
Warren?
Nope, with two, we had the Soul Miners there. One of the singers was at Palatine Park singing with Helicopter Cooperative. So rain or shine, I'm out there. This last weekend was a little bit more rain than shine, but that's okay. We toughed it out. And had a talk to John Province. I says, we're going to have to do something about these vendors. They're all at the fair, and we didn't have any hot dogs, but I survived.
Councilman Merrifield.
Just one thing. I'd like to thank everybody that came to the Disability Action Center 60th anniversary open house. In particular, the city manager for bringing the barricades down and blocking off a small area for a short period of time to make it safer and much more enjoyable for all of us. We're very blessed, as I've said before, to have a facility like that in this town. It's one of the best kept secrets in the town, and thanks to Tom for coming down and reading the proclamation, and those others of you, Marianne and Frank, and I don't know if I missed anybody, but we appreciated all your coming down. They're coming down, and very well attended, very, very positive event for the facility and the folks that work there. So thank you again.
Thank you. Councilmember Warner.
Yes, Tom, I attended the National Night Out down at Veterans Plaza, and I felt it was a great success. A lot of people down there, a lot of information passed out to people that were there. They had good music, and I want to thank Chief Shine and the officers. There were about 10 of them there that night, and every place I looked, I saw Chief Shine. He's tall enough, you see him over everybody, and he did go through the crowd, speak to everybody, talk to them, and I think that's a very good representation for our city. So thank you, Chief.
Councilmember Grubb.
Yes, this Thursday will be the 6th annual Fuzzy Night Festival. Unfortunately, it's not going to be quite as good as it has been in the past because of illness of the people planning it. But at 6 o'clock, for those people that like interesting vehicles, down at Palatine, we will have the Tri-State Antique semi-trucks for view. They'll be here from 3 states, people, which is a new club that's just started, and you'll see machinery that you've never seen before. And at dusk, we will be showing the movie The Little Shepherd of the Hills that starred John Wayne in his first color picture. It's also about a book that was written in 1909, which pretty much is the same as what we have today, of the larger companies trying to take over the land of the Back Hills people.
Councilman Mason.
You are a font of knowledge in history. Mayor and Council, you know, we have passed at least a couple resolutions in support of the Route 2 I-68 authority. And the Route 2 development along the Ohio River is going along quite well, developing the 2-lane road into 4-lane road. The I-68 extension from Morgantown to the Ohio Valley is not dead yet. In fact, as you know, I'm on that authority, Route 2 I-68. And we had a representative of the authority along with West Virginia University representatives go to a meeting at the White House. And we're getting some attention on the extension of I-68. The development of Interstate 68 connecting the Mon Valley to the Ohio Valley is good for not just our 2 valleys, because we have 2 very separate economies that have developed in our valley and over in the Ohio Valley. And if we're able to connect them, I think that would be a very positive thing for both areas, both regions. But even greater than that, it provides an opportunity for commerce to come from the East Coast, primarily the Baltimore port, over to our valley and through West Virginia into Ohio, ultimately to connect to I-77 in Ohio. So I'm not going to say if it ever happens, I'll say when it happens. And we are actually beginning to get some political attention and support for the development of I-68. I think it would be a wonderful thing for us.
Councilman Strait.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Okay, I too attended the National Night Out, and that was there were a lot of people there, and the weather was great. Chief, you did a good job organizing that. There were a lot of booths, a lot of things going on, and I think it was a good testament as to how many people do support the police department, how many people appreciate what you all do. So also last week, Mary Ann, Frank, Ron Strait, Janet, myself, we attended the West Virginia Municipal League for 3 days in Morgantown, and there were a lot of very interesting breakout sessions, very informative. You get to talk to other people from other cities, and you trade problems and advice and things like that, but it was a very worthwhile summer conference, so I'm glad that we got to participate in that. We have one citizen's petition this evening, Brenda Janice, my old playmate back in the neighborhood.
Don't be giving away any trade secrets.
Yeah.
I'm Brenda Janice, and I live at 1095 Charles Avenue here in Fairmont, and I'm president of the Fairmont Chamber Music Society, and I wanted to come this evening and thank the Fairmont City Council and our city manager and all the folks here for supporting the Fairmont Chamber Music Society, and with your contribution of $500, it really helps us out. We are in our 37th season, and somebody said they had a best kept secret, and I think we've been the best kept secret for years, but we're still plugging away thanks to everybody's help. But we are also expanding. A few years ago, we were on a little bit shaky footing with grant monies not coming through, but we have, with your help and other organizations and our patrons and our donors and grant monies, we are on good footing now, and we are trying to expand, and that's what I wanted to let you know about any monies that come in. We're going to be working with the Board of Education and trying to expand into the schools and actually taking some of our concerts into the schools, the elementary and middle schools, and also continue strengthening our work with Fairmont State University and the students there, and maybe have a concert on campus. So these are things we're looking at. We're also networking with Harrison County to present a chamber music concert, with Fairmont Chamber Music Concert, also in Harrison County, and expand a little bit. So we're very excited about it. So I wanted to come and personally thank you on behalf of our board of directors. We're totally nonprofit, and we rely on the help of everybody. And I have here some brochures I would like each of you to have with 2 complimentary tickets. And if you haven't been to our concerts, they are held just right down the street here at St. Peter the Fisherman Church there on Jackson, and we meet on Sundays 4 times a year. The dates are listed in the brochure, and they're all at 3 o'clock, and you can come to 2 or you can come to 1 and bring somebody with you, and you can also subscribe, and some of you have subscribed, and I thank you for that. So I will leave these with Ms. Keller, and she can give you all the tickets, and please use them and come. We would love to have you, and come and see what we're about and where your money's going to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those are a lot better now that you have them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon than 7 o'clock in the evening.
That's based on evaluations from our patrons saying what they wanted, so we listen. you're on that position, you know how that goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the city manager's report. He's going to recognize the 2018 Fairmont 101 graduates.
Yes, good evening, Robin Gomez, Fairmont City Manager, and do have with us our graduating members of the 2017-18 or 2018 edition of Fairmont 101. And for everybody who may watch this or may be watching or listening, Fairmont 101 is a great opportunity to really get to learn, to know, to see, to meet and greet representatives from each of our departments, to learn how the city operates essentially on a daily basis. You get to see equipment, you get to speak with frontline employees from police to fire to the guys that plow our streets to the men and women that respond to utility calls to where the water comes from and where eventually it all ends up in a wastewater treatment plant. So it's a great opportunity to really learn the insides of how your government, our government works at the closest level to all of us. So I mean, we encourage folks to, if you're interested, you may reach out to Hannah Turner, our program manager for marketing communications out of my office. There's information online. We are hoping to have a schedule available maybe in the next couple of months that will be available online. The classes usually will run from April through August, as they have for the last few years, and all the classes were held this year from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. We did include lunch, and we will determine likely to keep the same type of schedule, but we're always listening, as Brenda mentioned, and taking evaluations and suggestions and ideas on how to enhance, how to improve the entire program. But we do encourage, it's free, there is no charge, and you do get a free lunch. And sometimes we repeat the meals, but we'll look to have a different meal at every session. So I'd like to thank all the participants and certainly the graduates. And Mayor, if you don't mind, we'll step right out here so we can distribute those certificates, please. I'd also like to, as I mentioned, Hannah Turner, Hannah's right here, raise her hand. Hannah, who coordinates the Fairmont 101, she does a terrific job in coordinating, contacting everybody, scheduling, reminding them, and making sure that they have everything that they need, and certainly keeping me on track to make sure that everybody and everything stays on time. So maybe, Mayor, I'll have you read when your name is called. Please come up. We'll start with
Corwin Russell.
And congratulations, Corwin, for completing, but I think you have even better congratulations that you're receiving. Mr. Russell became a father this past week, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth Wolf.
Congratulations, Elizabeth, and thank you for participating.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Kelly Brett. Kelly, Robin Norsworthy. Pictures?
How about if we maybe we can get a group picture?
Why don't you all come up here?
Come on up.
Come on up here.
Group shot.
Tom, you know that Mary Ann and I had the highest score on a final of that class.
I knew Mary Ann did.
Frankie's so full of it.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah. You paved the way, though.
$20.
You paved the way.
I would have.
We had to take
You'd have buffalo meat back when you
Me, not her.
Oh.
And as the deputy mayor reminded me, we have had numerous council members also take the class before they became council, some right after they became council members. So anybody who is interested in future contemplating either working for the city or running for one of the offices, it is a great way to learn exactly what we do and how we do it. And I apologize, Mayor, I have a report that was given to me earlier in the week, and it just, Janet, I have yours. What you are receiving, what I just distributed to the council, is our annual report. This is for the Fairmont Firemen's Municipal Pension and Relief Fund, and it's really a financial, and almost a line item of what the fund's value was beginning July 1 of 2017. This is again for fiscal year 18, which began July 1 of 2017. And then on page 2, about a third of the way down, what the value of the pension is as of June 30th of 2018, excuse me. You can see the fair value of $2,129,102.86 at the beginning of the year through the contributions, the payments that were paid out, which again is just detailed on page 2. We have the payments paid out to 40.42 active members of the fund, and at the year end, the fair value of the plan is just over $3.1 million. So this includes obviously all the annual contributions that the city budgets for out of our general fund. It includes obviously the addition of the 1% sales tax, and obviously the contributions from the members that are currently in part of the pension, so all the fire employees that participate. And again, the sales tax is assisting considerably in increasing the value of the pension fund. Again, our investments also did fairly well. The net investment income, as you can see toward the bottom of page 1, $154,294. So again, just to provide you with the activities of the fund throughout the year with a summary, not significant details. But on page 2 and really the bottom 2/3 of page 2 are how the fund performed in terms of its investments that are currently held in Edward Jones. So just some information that from our finance department to share how the pension performed this past year. As always, be happy to answer any questions, either if not now, at any point in time hereafter. And then I have one more to go through. So. The second one is the police pension. And you will also receive emailed copies of these with our weekly update. Again, the opportunity, if anybody has any questions at that point in time or any clarifications with any information, certainly the council may reach out also directly to Eileen Lehman, our finance director, with any other questions as well. The similar report for the municipal pension for our police officers, again, the value beginning July 1 of $5,644,334.13. And again, over on page 2 at year end, as of June 30th, it was at over $6.655 million. And again, the contributions that we or the city are obligated to provide through our general fund, the contributions from the 1% sales tax, and the contributions from the employees themselves. The police fund, because it does have a larger balance, did perform similar performance, but the net investment income is greater than the fire pension, hence a little bit of a higher value. On page 3, also the police pension currently has fewer members, 34 active members, which reflect smaller expenditures than the fire pension. And again, on page 2, there's the some of the detail of how it performed the investments held at year end on June 30th. We will continue to, as we have for years, obviously monitor the performance. We meet with Edward Jones, the representatives from both pensions. We meet with our Edward Jones to review the performance. The members of the boards they do a good job in reviewing, asking questions, finding out exactly where we are and what the trends may be going forward. Of course, the investment subject to market conditions. It would be great if we continue to have the continued investment income, but we know that that's not always the case. So again, if anyone has any questions, if not now, at any point in time, please feel free to let us know. And just a couple more things. Mayor, also a big thank you to Chief Shine, to our committee that coordinated, planned, held the National Night Out, and a few of them between Hannah Turner, Sandra Scafidi, the staff at Planning and Development, certainly the staff at Police and Fire, Janet Keller as well. Thank you to all of them for a tremendous event. First time that it's been held in Fairmont, as far as we know, right, Chief? Yes, sir. So it will continue to be an annual event, and we're already looking for ways to enhance and improve going forward and make it even bigger and better for next year. And it was very pleasing to see so many people and the interaction with the officers. That it's just a great opportunity for our residents, even business owners, to meet and greet with officers in a very positive and a proactive manner, and in a fun manner, and also have a police officer to cook some hot dogs for them. So thank you to all that participated. Also, we're pleased to announce, but it's been more than a week, that finally DDTV did come back on the Spectrum cable lineup on channel 561. I did have multiple conversations with the government relations manager out of, I believe he's in Cincinnati, and I don't remember, somewhere in Ohio, and he assured me almost daily that it would be back, and it was back, I think, sooner than even he expected. So we're glad that it came back, and they'll continue to work on the programming and improving the service as well. Also want to welcome, we have 3 new police officers that were sworn in last Monday, the 6th. Officers Christopher Gwinnett, William Myers, and we're happy Lena Bansback. We now have 1 female police officer, so always looking to diversify the ranks and have good representation, so we're very excited to have the 3 of them back. They're not at the academy yet though, right, Chief?
No, sir, August 27th.
August 27th they'll be going to the police academy, and then they'll be back as part of our field training program, but we're very happy to have them. And also, I forgot to go get a picture, Eddie. I don't know if you have a photo, but we did also welcome our newest member of the Fairmont Fire Department, Engine 41. And the Engine 41 is currently at the Watson Station. We're getting ready to be fitted with all the equipment, et cetera, and so eventually it'll be stored here at Central, but Engine 41 arrived yesterday, so we'll take some pictures and get them out weekly update, but hopefully soon it'll be out driving around the city. So we're very excited to have that back. We also, as we welcome new employees, we also like to wish very best. We have 2 employees that are leaving us for other opportunities in our building and code department. Lisa Wiley, our senior staff assistant, and Martha Richards, who has served as our program manager over our vacant building program and working on the demolition program. Their last day is tomorrow, and tomorrow for Martha and Friday for Lisa. We wish them obviously the very best. They will both be missed. We are working on hiring those positions, but sad to see them go, and both have done a tremendous job in a lot of the new roles that have occurred in that area, from additional developments to requiring scheduling building inspections, but certainly the demolition and alleviating the blight has been a big part of that department and the city as a whole for the last couple of years. And 2 final things, we're finalizing our demo, our bid, which structures we will be issuing a bid to be demolished. We are receiving the last few asbestos reports on those structures, and we will hopefully issue those over the next 2 weeks. As well as we're hoping that our street paving begins next week, as the contractor experienced some delays due to weather, and other components at another project, but we're hoping that by Monday, the 20th, they will be out paving, milling and paving. So we do request everyone's cooperations, patience, and understanding, and we will ensure that everybody is properly notified when it is occurring. Our public works staff always does a very good job, and whatever we need to do to help people get back to their house and notifying them, they're there to do all that work. So thank you again. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, item number 1 under consideration of council business is the introduction, first reading, to set a public hearing for an ordinance. Is there a motion to set the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Would the clerk please read the ordinance by title, by synopsis?
An ordinance to approve and adopt current replacement pages to the Fairmont City Code. Various ordinances have been passed by council which should be included in the city code book. This ordinance approves and adopts the ordinances as prepared and published by the Walter H. Drain Company to be included in the city code as of the July 2018 replacement pages.
Is there any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Merrifield?
Yes.
Councilmember Yan?
Yes.
Councilmember Harger?
Yes.
Councilmember Mason?
Yes.
Councilmember Grubb?
Yes.
Councilmember Moran?
Yes.
Councilmember Straight?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Mayor Manella?
Yes. Okay, that will be taken up at our August 28th meeting. Item number 2 is the adoption of a resolution. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Seconded.
Would the clerk please read the resolution by title?
A resolution of the Council for the City of Fairmont endorsing the Home Brewers Against Hunger event sponsored by the Fairmont Home Brewers Club to be held at Palatine Park on Saturday, September 15th, 2018. This proposed resolution provides for the City of Fairmont's support for the Home Brewers Against Hunger charity event, the purpose of which is to raise funds in support of local food banks. This event is sponsored by the Fairmont Home Brewers Club and is slated to be held at Palatine Park on Saturday, September 18th from 12:00 p.m. to 5:00 p.m. This resolution contains a disclaimer that by supporting this event, no relationship is created between the City of Fairmont and the event sponsor.
Will the clerk please call for a vote?
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Councilmember Straight?
Yes.
Councilmember Yan?
Yes.
Councilmember Harger?
Yes.
Councilmember Moran?
Yes.
Councilmember Grubb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mason?
Yes.
Councilmember Merrifield?
Yes.
Mayor Manella?
Yes. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Second. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Okay, Missy, I won't be here next time.
That's okay.
That's right. Well, I figured we weren't going that much.
That's right. So, yeah, bring us up and meet you.
I'm having enough
You were one of 4 people, I think, that participated in the Fairmont 101 class. Tell us.
We had a few more.
Okay, a few more, but 4 came here for their certificates.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about what you found to be helpful about Fairmont 101.
I learned a lot about our city and appreciate our city workers a lot now. They do a great job and a lot of work.
What prompted you to take the class?
I love our city and I was interested in it, interested in understanding how things work. I have never lived in a place that has snow, and so it was, good to hear about.
We should tell you that Robin is not new minister now, but she's been in place for a couple of years over at Central Christian Disciples of Christ on Big Tree Drive, out of the South from Georgia and Alabama and other places. So, yeah. And it's interesting that somebody coming from another state would come and take the class when there's a reluctance even among people of Fairmont to take this class. So.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. Yeah, I love West Virginia and I love Fairmont.
What was one of the most revelatory thoughts that you got from this whole class from this whole session, which was about 4 sessions, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that would be hard to say. I guess the street department and the amount of work that they have to do, you know, and I'm not sure if street department is exactly what I mean, but you know, even the electrical of all the lights in our town and how they've got to keep up with all of that. I don't know how they do it. I appreciate them.
Well, Robin, thank you for going through the class. I'm sure you would invite others who want to know about the city to take the class.
I would.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. It's good. I'm still live, so I'll talk to you later. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching tonight's City Council. It wasn't a froth with a lot of a controversy, but it was a very good meeting. You heard the 2 considerations of council business, and before that I had tried to get my Facebook Live to work, and I just wasn't hitting the right buttons. I went and was pushing every button and discovered why it was that it wasn't quite working. Hopefully that'll be corrected in the future. I mentioned in my prayer today, or in my thought today, which was a humanistic prayer, that I wanted to share with the council what other cities do in relationship to their opening. Morgantown has a roll call. Buchanan has a moment of silence. Lewisburg has a reading prepared by the city recorder. Charleston and Wheeling have invocations. And so there's a wide assortment. Fayetteville has a moment of silence. So there's a wide assortment of ways that people begin, and communities across West Virginia begin their City Council meetings. I thank the City Council for their openness to a variety of meditations and prayers at the beginning of each service. This year we've had 2 prayers by a Lakota Indian, Bob Priner. Today was a humanistic prayer, which was the 3rd prayer in the 10 years that I've been here. One was done by the chaplain James Riggs about 4 years ago. On February the 12th, when he read the Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and then 3 years ago on the eve of Thanksgiving I read the Mayflower Compact, which became the basis for the U.S. Constitution. So the offerings to the City Council members, and I should say Clarksburg, in their City Council meetings, they have a different member of the City Council each 2 weeks to give a prayer. So the wide variety across the state of West Virginia suggests the different ways in which we offer a thought, a prayer, a meditation at the beginning of each service. Fairmont, we've done this. I've been in charge of this for 11 years, both in the city and at the County Commission. I try to get a wide variety of people from other faiths and other denominations as well, to kind of broaden the spectrum of what we think about and what we pray about, and what it leads us to do as we hear the words being shared. So that's been City Council today. A lot of other things are happening this week. Chamber of Commerce big dinner tomorrow on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, Extension Service is having a special meeting. The Christmas Toy Shop. It's hard to believe that we're just 2 months away from Christmas Toy Shop and the distributing of gifts to people throughout the area. This past Saturday, we distributed book packs through the Marion County Start Smart Backpack Program. Friday and Saturday are also events at Prickett's Ford, and the African American Week continues at Prickett's Ford. I'll plan to go out there tomorrow, catch some events, and then of course on Saturday some events at Palatine Park, a dedication of Arts in the Week. So a lot of things happening here in the Friendly City, and as much as my health permits, I'll be involved with it, and we hope to see you getting ready now for the So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching tonight's City Council. It wasn't a froth with a lot of a controversy, but it was a very good meeting. You heard the 2 considerations of council business, and before that I had tried to get my Facebook Live to work, and I just wasn't hitting the right buttons. I went and was pushing every button and discovered why it was that it wasn't quite working. Hopefully that'll be corrected in the future. I mentioned in my prayer today, or in my thought today, which was a humanistic prayer, that I wanted to share with the council what other cities do in relationship to their opening. Morgantown has a roll call. Buchanan has a moment of silence. Lewisburg has a reading prepared by the city recorder. Charleston and Wheeling have invocations. And so there's a wide assortment. Fayetteville has a moment of silence. So there's a wide assortment of ways that people begin, and communities across West Virginia begin their city council meetings. I thank the city council for their openness to a variety of meditations and prayers at the beginning of each service. This year we've had 2 prayers by a Lakota Indian, Bob Priner. Today was a humanistic prayer, which was the 3rd prayer in the 10 years that I've been here. One was done by the chaplain James Riggs about 4 years ago. On February the 12th, when he read the Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and then 3 years ago on the eve of Thanksgiving, I read the Mayflower Compact, which became the basis for the U.S. Constitution. So the offerings to the city council members, and I should say Clarksburg, in their city council meetings, they have a different member of the city council each 2 weeks to give a prayer. So the wide variety across the state of West Virginia suggests the different ways in which we offer a thought, a prayer, a meditation at the beginning of each service. Fairmont, we've done this. I've been in charge of this for 11 years, both in the city and at the county commission. I try to get a wide variety of people from other faiths and other denominations as well, to kind of broaden the spectrum of what we think about and what we pray about, and what it leads us to do as we hear the words being shared. So that's been City Council today. A lot of other things are happening this week. Chamber of Commerce big dinner tomorrow on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, Extension Service is having a special meeting. The Christmas Toy Shop. It's hard to believe that we're just 2 months away from Christmas Toy Shop and the distributing of gifts to people throughout the area. This past Saturday, we distributed book packs through the Marion County Start Smart Backpack Program. Friday and Saturday are also events at Prickett's Ford, and the African American Week continues at Prickett's Ford. I'll plan to go out there tomorrow, catch some events, and then of course on Saturday some events at Palatine Park, a dedication of arts in the week. So a lot of things happening here in the Friendly City, and as much as my health permits, I'll be involved with it, and we hope to see you getting ready now for the candidate forum September 4th and 5th. Which is looking very crowded right now with the issue of the Supreme Court Justices of West Virginia, who will be running and trying to get them on the ballot in time. I forget just exactly when, but in the next day or so, I think the ballots have to be prepared. The names have to be submitted for the ballots to be approved. So I'm not sure that all the names of petitions and people running can get on the ballot in time, which then would make the appointment of these justices by Governor paramount. We'll see what happens. So anyway, from City Council, this is Dee Dee Mann in Fairmont saying to everybody, so long, take care, and be a blessing.